All right, traders, it is time to prepare to trade the best setups at the best prices. The green streak continues. I ended up making a little bit over 5 figures on the day, starting off with many wins. Then I had a couple of small losses during the middle of the day. Then I had some very nice wins towards the end of the day. This was a phenomenal trading day. The main trade that I ended up having was doing put options and shorting the market when it was opening at our key level. My key level was $422.40 for puts. I told you guys that was my worst level possible. It ended up being nearly the opening high. And I did end up adding and taking an even heavier position when it spiked to 423 in the morning. And then as it was dropping, I locked in my profits for an $8,000 gain. Then I continued to trade, continued to rack it up, gave some back, finished the day up $10,000. With that being said, let's get straight into the analysis. What I'm going to do is towards the end of this video, I'm going to be recapping some of the trades and teaching you how to trade price action and teaching you some of the trading strategies. But we're going to start off with the game plan for tomorrow. Our new key levels where we're planning to go short and buy put options, and our new key levels where we're planning to go long and buy call options. Based off of what I'm seeing, the SPY is going to try to do this. If it has a small drop heading into tomorrow, it is likely going to recover and go super bullish. Now, if it just gaps up and goes super bullish, then I will be interested in just buying call options at the gap. If we're going under the gap and it's looking a little bit bearish, I will be interested in buying call options at our next key support level. And again, this is if it has a small move down. So SPY's having a small move down heading into tomorrow. This will be the level where I want to buy call options. $423.30. What they're going to try to do is they're going to try to turn this previous resistance right here where I was doing put options at the exact top. Look at the alert, 9:37 a.m. I'm hitting puts. Before that, I hit puts with lighter size, got squeezed a little bit, held my position. Then I took a heavier position on a better strike, 423. As it was crashing, I sold both my strikes for a very, very nice profit in the money. But with that being said, 423.30. Like I told you, based off of the pattern, if the SPY has a small drop, it is going to try to recover and go bullish. So in terms of that level, it's going to be this zone. They're going to try to turn 423.40 into support. It's going to try to spike here. And if not, then it's going to be 422.60. That is my support zone. That is where I'm buying call options. That is where I'm scaling in. So I take some nice starters at 423.30 if the market's opening up flat, having a small little drop, and then I add into 422.60. But remember, also trade what you see. This is based off of a daily pattern that I am seeing. Now, in order for me to actually do that, it has to just have a small drop. If SPY falls off a cliff and has a massive gap down, then I won't feel the same way heading into tomorrow. But if we're just having a small drop or opening up flat, that's my level for calls. If it's gapping up, having a nice move up, my new level for calls is 424.66 at the gap. That is my game plan for call options heading into tomorrow, right? And that is based off the daily pattern. Now, let's say this daily pattern doesn't occur, SPY goes super bearish, right? And there was no reason for calls due to pre-market or just we're trading what we see, we don't see a confirmation. What would be other levels where we would be interested in buying call options? Right here, I would be very interested in buying call options at the following. You can keep an eye on 421.60. I wouldn't value that to be my best level in terms of buying calls if the SPY goes super bearish tomorrow. But 420.60. 420.60 is a great level to buy calls if the SPY goes bearish. And then our best levels is going to be 418.80. We spoke about that in yesterday's video. I told you guys that was going to spike. That was one of our key price levels. And then our true best level, this is more towards like later in the week if it goes super bearish, would be right here, the monthly lows of June. So write down this level. Whenever it decides to hit, this will be a fantastic level to buy call options. 416.80 hasn't been tested yet, right? So those are my levels for calls if the SPY goes super bearish, and I will save those levels for the future. The SPY should bounce initially at those three levels. Even if it goes super bearish, whenever it decides to happen, it is going to try to bounce, especially at 420.55, 418.80 pre-market lows, and 416.80 June month's lows. We will be targeting call options whenever the SPY goes bearish at those levels for quick scalps. The way I scalp is I buy barely out of the money or at the money, and I sell straight back in the money. Right here, if I'm buying calls at 418.80, I'm getting in towards that price. 419 calls out of the money. I buy them out of the money, sell them straight back into the money, make my profit. Right here, the price would be 420.60. So if I'm buying calls at 420.60, I'm going with a 421 strike. I don't want to go more than 40 cents out of the money, and then I'm selling straight back into the money. Those quick flips are 30, 40% returns very, very quickly. Every $10,000 I put in, $3,000 to $4,000, just like that. I went very heavy on puts this morning, and I racked up $8,000 in less than 10 minutes doing that because the percentage gains are so huge. That's the power of options. You don't even have to put a lot of money in to do very, very well. That's my game plan for calls. We will absolutely crush it using those key levels. Now, in terms of my game plan for puts, I had levels. What did I tell you? I told you $422.40 was my level for puts. I ended up doing puts at that level, and I did get squeezed at first. It's very, very hard to get in at the exact perfect entry if you're going to trade during the most volatile time at market open. That's one of the downsides. High volatility, very, very hard to get in at the perfect entry if you're just going to try to short and do put options into the front side. So I ended up doing puts at 422.50. I took a starter, and then this went to 423.40. I held my position. Now, instead of adding to 422 puts, since they became $1 out of the money, what I did was I sized in heavier on a 423 strike because it was safer and it was only 40 cents out of the money. And what I did was I had the understanding that this is pre-market highs. It's going to try to crash here. It was already trying to drop from my 422.40 level. It was already trying to go bearish. It kept trying to drop here in a sense, right? So I was thinking that it's going to top at pre-market highs. Previous support is going to react as a resistance. This is bearish doji. It's going to try to sell off towards my key level zone. So I hit my puts at 423, alerted real time. And then as this got crushed, I sold right into the dip. As soon as we hit this support level right here, I sold into the move. Why? Because it was just at 422.40 and it ran all the way to 423.40. So if I'm buying puts here and I already got squeezed on the first one, I'm just going to sell into the move, right? So in a sense, I didn't even have to be right on that first trade. I sold the first trade for a very, very small win. But the second trade was a massive win because I got the best entry and I timed it perfectly. I did not give up and I stuck with my overall plan. So in a sense, the key level worked fairly well. And if you were to hold that position, it would have worked amazing because it went all the way down to 421. But like I said, I'm a scalper. I get in very, very in and out very, very quickly. I don't day trade in a sense. Every once in a while, if I see a day trade, I'll take it. But I'm known for scalping. I make money at the speed of light, 20, 30, 40% returns within a couple of minutes. And I time it perfectly for the most part. So with that being said, these are going to be the key levels for puts and to short the market. Where I'm planning to go short on the market is going to be the following. Like I told you guys, the SPY is going to drop first when it hits $426. We went over this in my video yesterday. So basically this zone right here has not been tested. 425.90 to 426.20. This little box was key support on the SPY. When it cracked this support, it had a massive sell-off all the way down to $418.80 in the pre-market today. So you better believe me. When this spikes all the way back up to 426 to 426.20, even if the SPY goes super bullish, that's going to be a great opportunity to buy 426 puts at the money or barely out of the money, and it should drop first and we sell them back in the money. That is an amazing trade idea. But this would be my true best trade idea for puts. Puts towards the gap in this previous support that has not been tested. We have a gap that is waiting to fill above at $427.30. For those of you who've been following my channel, you are well aware we use this same strategy to buy puts at the exact top before the market crash that we prepared a week in advance in multiple videos. And I would encourage you to go back and watch those videos and to watch the short that I just posted on my YouTube channel. If you go to the short section, it's going to talk about this strategy. We're planning to use the same strategy. The SPY had a massive gap down from $427.35. So when it goes back to this gap at 427.30, it's going to try to drop first, even if it pushes higher throughout the day and goes super bullish. So this would be my best level to short the market and buy put options heading into tomorrow and this week in a sense. I'm looking for a gap close reversal at 427.30. It's going to try to drop first. The SPY was at 427.30 and it went all the way down to $418 in 2 single days. Now it's rocketing back up to the gap. This is doing the same thing. It's doing the same pattern. I'm teaching you how to see, and I'm teaching you how to think. This is so simple. You just need to be disciplined enough to trade the best setups at the best prices. I'm giving you an opportunity where you can make over $1,000 on this one single trade. So listen up. SPY gaps down at 432. In 2 days, it sells off all the way to 422, a 10-point drop. 2 days later, it spikes to $432. That's where the top was. And we did puts and we went short and we banked. The team made hundreds of thousands of dollars collectively within Trader Society. So it's doing the same thing. It had a 2-day drop from the gap. Now it's recovering. It's going to be day 2 tomorrow. So if this spikes right back up to 427, I'm buying those puts and I'm going short. It's just common sense. It's the same strategy. It's the same pattern. The bulls are going to get trapped. The gamblers who decided to buy call options at 427 all got trapped. The gamblers who decided to buy call options at 432 all got trapped. When it hits that level for the first time, it's going to try to drop first. It's common sense. If you bought calls at 427 and it dropped 10 points in 2 days and then it spiked back up 10 points in 2 days, are you going to be bullish and double down and say, yeah, I'm buying calls at that level? No, we're buying puts and we're going short at that level. That is the best level possible. If you're serious about taking money out of the market, that's the level where you need to be shorting and buying put options. That's the best setup at the best price possible. We will be targeting puts at that level. Me personally, when that level hits and I'm seeing some sort of confirmation, starter position, I'm putting in at least $50,000. If I see a strong confirmation, I'm putting in at least $100,000. And I'll be divided. I'll do some in 0 dates, and then I'll do some in further expirations like 5 to 7 days. And that's a day trading level where you can try to aim for bigger wins, but use profit stops. If you are going to day trade and you're not going to sell quickly for the smaller wins, 20, 30, 40%, which is still an amazing win very, very quickly. But if you want to day trade, aim for the bigger wins, since this is a day trading opportunity, use profit stops, set profit stops. That way, when you are green, you cannot flip red and you're going to take your profit. So if you want to day trade, you can try to day trade, but you need to understand if you have that profit stop set, it's going to turn into a scalp and you're still going to win and you're not going to flip red. So set your profit stops, right? So that's what I'm saying is the best level for puts. Now, in terms of our next levels above that, we will be looking at 428.40. Pre-market highs, very strong resistance. I love the level. This can be a day trading zone where you take starting puts at 427.30 and then you add at 428.30. If you do that properly and you get a good average in between that, you should do absolutely phenomenal. And then our next level for puts above that is $430. And then the next level for puts above that is $433. That's our next resistance level, right? So that's our game plan. That's how we're planning to crush the market. I gave you the best strategy. I gave you the best pattern. That strategy alone this year has made me multi-six figures in profits. And it's helped create millionaires within Trader Society. So if you want to use it and make some nice profit heading into this week, I would recommend that you try that. With that being said, that's how we're planning to take money out the market. Very simple trading strategy. And that's it, man. So in terms of the day, I don't have time to recap all the trades. There was over 50 wins between the 3 moderators, me, G-Roar, and Keaton. These 3 moderators, just us alone, there was over 50 fucking wins. So if you're serious about learning how to day trade and learn how to scalp, this is the best program for you. In terms of why I did puts, I explained it in yesterday's video. I had the 422.40 plan. And then when I saw that this was approaching, pre-market major resistance, and then I saw this is where the bulls got trapped, this support for 2 minutes of consolidation cracked, was never retested. I said, it's time to do 423 puts. It's going to crash. That's why I did puts there. And then I sold into the move. What I do is I sell into the move. I say, okay, where's the support? If I'm doing puts, that's where I'm selling. It might bounce. It might crack. It's likely going to try to bounce first. Even if it cracks, I'm selling into the move. I'm not giving back my gains. I'm not holding through that crazy fluctuation of 0 dates, right? I take my profits. Now, in terms of other trading opportunities that we did, this was a phenomenal trade that I had on call options. What do I tell you guys all the time? Look at this. Look at this beautiful trading opportunity that I teach in my videos. Go back and watch my videos. It's the same pattern. Look at this. Resistance, pre-market resistance. Pre-market resistance is right here at $420.60. The SPY has a very nice breakout to 423. So what do I tell you? When SPY has a massive breakout above resistance and then it drops just as quickly as it went up, like it did right here, what is it going to try to do? It's going to try to bounce and turn this previous resistance into support. Even if it flips bearish, even if it decides to go lower throughout the day, it's going to try to bounce first because this was resistance and the SPY had a massive breakout. And then it dropped just as fast as it went up. So it's going to try to bounce first, even if it goes bearish. So this is what I did. I didn't buy calls as soon as it hit the pre-market resistance, which I could have, but I ended up using my 30-minute trading strategy that has made me tens of thousands of dollars, just this one simple trading strategy alone. I talk about all the time. This one, tens of thousands of dollars this year. Now this one, this is the strategy. So I noticed that the SPY was turning previous resistance into support, which is bullish. And then I noticed the 30-minute candle closed with this green bullish trend reversal candlestick directly at that previous resistance. What do I tell you all the time? When it forms this green wick, it's going to try to spike back up. So when this 30-minute candlestick right here opened up, I was buying calls with the price target at 422.55 because it's going to try to spike back up. We literally went over this later this week. It's the same pattern, man. I hope you guys are seeing this stuff because in Trader Society, we see all this and we're crushing it in real time. We teach all this. We trade all this. Every single trade is delivered real time. Look, it's the same strategy. Look at this. The green wicks. You see the green wicks? We played this. It's in the section, man. Go back and watch the videos. I'm giving you the key to make money. Go back to, where is it? Video analysis. It's the same pattern. It's the same video. I went over this in my last videos. It's the same thing, man. It's happening over and over again. This was an even better opportunity because it was stacked with previous resistance reacts to support and it was at a lower level. But look, you have the green 30-minute wicks. You have the green 30-minute wicks. What do I tell you? It's going to try to spike back up to the high of the wicks. So when this was dropping off here, we were buying at the dip at the bottom of these bullish wicks, and we were selling into the rip because we knew it was going to retest. Such a phenomenal opportunity for calls. We use that strategy every single week to take money out of the market. Being red is literally a choice. Look at the polls, man. If you go to the polls within Trader Society, almost every single day, we are hitting record-breaking green polls. Yesterday was the only day within the past 3 weeks where we had more people red than usual. But if you look today, man, and if you just look overall, every single day we're going green. Like I said, there was over 50 wins in the chat today. And yeah, we did have some losers, but all of the wins outweighed all those losses. I saw over 50 wins and I saw about 10 losses in total between everyone. With that being said, man, we are absolutely crushing it. We know how to escape the matrix. We know how to make and take money out of the market. It's very, very simple. And if you go green to red, you truly deserve it, man. If you're going green to red on the day, you have no risk management. You're just going to keep on trading throughout the day without any risk management, without any position sizing, not cut a loss quickly, not have any game plan to stay green and keep your profit, then you fucking deserve it. I have no sympathy for anyone who's going green to red. It's a choice. You are already green, so it's a choice to stay green. Do you understand? It's a choice to stay green, no matter what you do. If you're up $200 and then you do a zero date, it should be $1. Or, it could be $2, right? $2 max. You buy one contract. The most you can lose is what you put in. And we're not going to hold for 100% loss. But the point is, being green to red is a choice. And you should not be going red. At the worst, you should only be having one red day a week, man. I can understand if you're a beginner and you're just starting out. But look, man, I get it. The big guys within the chat, the market's on fire. I've been going from making three trades a day to now I'm having days where I'm making 15 trades. I completely understand if I'm having some nice wins and then I have some small losses and then nobody took the wins and now they're going with the small losses in the middle. Then I come back even stronger, have some wins. There's 3 periods. There's market open, there's middle of the day, lunchtime, and there's power hour. There's 3 brackets during the day. I can do extremely well just winning within one bracket and losing 2 in the brackets. As of lately, throughout the past 2 days, I've been winning 2 out of 3 brackets. I've been trading all 3 brackets, and I've been winning 2 out of 3 brackets. So if you didn't play all 3 brackets and you played the losing bracket, then yeah, you could have a loss. But you have to have a sense and understanding what the best setups at the best prices are when we're doing lotto trades, which is what we say. If we're doing a lotto, we say it's a lotto. But you have to have some understanding that, this dude's on fire. He just hit a crazy hot streak. There's no way we're going red to green on the day. Like, you guys have to think and have some sort of risk management and position sizing plan, right? Because I've had hot streaks just these 2 days alone where I racked up like 5 wins in a row, and then I'll have 2 losses, and then I'll go back on like 3 more wins again. So you just got to understand that, man. Keep your profits and do not flip green to red on the day. Nobody should be going green to red on the day. If you are, you're greedy and you have no fucking plan. And we have no sympathy for you. The market has no sympathy for you. So protect your gains and keep your profits. But big shout out to the team. We're absolutely crushing it. Big shout out to G-War within the chat. He had several wins. Big shout out to Keaton. He had some nice wins as well. We all killed it today, man. But that was the trading strategy for calls. And that was the main plays, man. That was the main plays that in terms of what I'm going to be teaching you. But we did a lot more. We did a lot more that I just don't have time to go over. You had to be there to see it. Like I said, some of these trades I can't even explain in a sense. It just happens. We're just trading price actions. We trade what we see very, very quickly sometimes. It might not even be at a key level, and it just happens within the blink of an eye, and we just know what it's going to do. We understand price action. We understand how it reacts, and I use 1 minute and 30-minute charts to do that. But the key levels were phenomenal, man. The key levels were extremely well today. You know, I ended up buying calls. I bought calls at the exact low of day, man. That was phenomenal. I bought calls at the exact low. I alerted that off my key level right here, 421.67 make or break gap. Towards the exact low, I was buying calls. I was buying calls towards the lows right here when it was under 400. This is when I hit it really, really nicely. Previous resistance reacts support right here. I hit calls down there as well. I bought calls at the lows twice today. We also I bought puts at the highs. I was back to back. It was a crazy day, man. So with that being said, if you do want to join Trader Society, it's the first link down below in the description. It's a one-time fee. It's a lifetime access. So if you're serious about taking money out of the market, learning how to master and trade price action, learning how to trade SPY, learning how to trade SPX, learning how to trade options. If you're serious about surrounding yourself with multimillionaires within this organization, this private network, then it's the first link down below in the description. I will see you guys tomorrow, live towards market open. It is going to be a big green day we have planned ahead. So be ready, because like I said, what I'm seeing with this market right now, we are setting up for amazing trading opportunities for calls and for puts. I will see you guys till then. We will absolutely crush it tomorrow.